The photography world is once again abuzz with excitement, and this time, all eyes are on Nikon. Rumors have begun circulating about a new addition to the company's retro-inspired mirrorless lineup, the Nikon ZFR. For those who followed Nikon's recent success with the ZF, this news comes as no surprise. The ZF struck a chord with photographers by blending the timeless beauty of Nikon's classic film cameras with the powerful performance of modern mirrorless technology. It wasn't just another camera loaded with specs. It was a statement, a perfect fusion of nostalgia and innovation that resonated deeply with photographers who appreciate both artistry and engineering. Now, the conversation has naturally shifted toward what comes next. The Nikon ZFR is rumored to be the next evolution in this beloved retro lineup, promising even more refinement, stronger performance, and a wider appeal. If Nikon manages to pull it off, the ZFR could be one of the most balanced and distinctive full-frame cameras the company has ever made. The ZF's success proved there's real demand for cameras that go beyond just technical superiority. Photographers loved its vintage-inspired design, tactile dials, and that unmistakable connection to the film era. It wasn't just about taking pictures, it was about the experience of shooting. However, despite all the praise, the ZF wasn't perfect. Some users felt that while the sleek, minimalist design looked fantastic, the ergonomics didn't quite hold up during long shooting sessions. The grip, in particular, was often mentioned as being too shallow, leading many to rely on third-party accessories to make it more comfortable for extended use. Another common critique was speed. With a continuous burst rate capped at 10 frames per second, the ZF wasn't built for action or sports photographers. While it excelled in portrait, street, and landscape work, it fell short for those who needed a faster, more dynamic system. These weren't deal-breakers by any means, but they did highlight the delicate balance Nikon had to strike between style and practicality. With the Nikon ZFR, expectations are high that Nikon will refine those weak points while preserving the charm and character that made the ZF so beloved. The most exciting rumor so far revolves around the sensor. Word has it that the Nikon ZFR could feature a 60-megapixel full-frame sensor, a major leap from the ZF's resolution. If this turns out to be true, it would position the ZFR alongside some of the industry's most powerful high-resolution cameras, such as Sony's A7RV and Canon's EOS R5. This would make the ZFR particularly appealing to landscape photographers, portrait artists, and commercial shooters who prioritize incredible detail, dynamic range, and cropping flexibility. Of course, 60-megapixel sensors aren't new territory. Sony, Sigma, and Canon have all offered them for years. But Nikon's strength has always been in its color science and tonal rendering. The company has a reputation for producing some of the most natural and pleasing color profiles straight out of camera. And when combined with a high-resolution sensor, the results could be stunning. There's also speculation that Nikon might aim to improve dynamic range and color depth even further. Some sources have gone as far as suggesting the ZFR could offer 16-bit RAW output, something typically reserved for medium format systems like the Fujifilm GFX100II or the Hasselblad X2D100C. While such a leap would be groundbreaking in a full-frame camera, it seems a bit ambitious for now. Realistically, the Nikon ZFR will likely maintain 12 or 14-bit RAW output, which already provides excellent flexibility and depth for professional editing. Still, even small improvements in tonal range or color fidelity could give Nikon an edge in the highly competitive high-resolution market. In terms of performance, the ZFR isn't expected to cater to sports or action photographers. Early reports suggest a burst rate in the same 10 frames per second range, reinforcing Nikon's intention to position this model as a tool for high-quality still photography rather than fast-paced subjects. If you're after speed, Nikon Z8 and Z9 will remain the go-to options. But for those focused on capturing intricate details in portraits, landscapes, or editorial work, the ZFR's speed will be more than adequate. Video performance is another area where anticipation is building. Given that both the Z8 and Z9 already offer 8K recording capabilities, it's reasonable to assume the Nikon ZFR could join that lineup. 8K video may not be a daily necessity for most users, but its inclusion would undoubtedly increase the camera's appeal to hybrid creators and filmmakers who want the freedom to crop, reframe, and stabilize footage without losing quality. That said, 8K recording comes with challenges, particularly with heat management and data storage, and those challenges become even more pronounced in a compact, retro-styled body. If Nikon can engineer a way to handle heat efficiently while maintaining the ZFR signature form factor, it could make this camera an attractive choice for video creators who also care about design and usability. A major highlight of the ZF was its retro aesthetic, a design philosophy that evoked the golden age of photography while still feeling modern and practical. The Nikon ZFR is expected to continue that tradition, but with key improvements in ergonomics and usability. One of the biggest changes rumored is a redesigned, more substantial grip. Nikon has heard the feedback about the ZF's handling and is likely to address it this time around, offering a better balance between form and function. After all, photographers don't just want a camera that looks good on a shelf. They want one that feels natural and comfortable in their hands during long days of shooting. The ZFR is also expected to retain one of the most beloved aspects of the ZF, its mechanical dials. These controls for ISO, shutter speed, and exposure compensation aren't just aesthetic. They make shooting tactile, intuitive, and fun. For photographers who grew up on film, these details are a direct link to the craft's heritage. Nikon clearly understands how important this is, and it's likely the company will double down on these physical design elements to make the ZFR feel even more authentic and immersive to use. When it comes to competition, the Nikon ZFR would be entering a tough arena. Its rumored specs put it up against heavyweights like the Sony A7RV, Canon EOS R5, and Panasonic Lumix S1R. Each of these cameras offers something exceptional. Sony's A7RV boasts industry-leading autofocus and AI-driven subject tracking. Canon's R5 delivers superb hybrid performance with high-end video capabilities, and Panasonic's S1R is celebrated for its outstanding still image quality. To compete, Nikon will need to do more than just deliver high resolution and retro charm. It'll have to prove itself in autofocus, video, and overall system performance. Autofocus, in particular, will be a major deciding factor. While Nikon has made substantial progress in recent years, especially with subject detection and tracking, Sony and Canon still lead the pack in AI-assisted autofocus. If Nikon can bring the ZFR's autofocus performance up to par, it could transform the camera from a niche favorite into a serious contender for professionals who demand reliability in every shot. So, will the Nikon ZFR live up to the growing hype? Only time will tell. But based on the rumors, the combination of high resolution, improved design, refined ergonomics, and Nikon's signature retro philosophy suggests something special is on the horizon. For now, all we can do is wait for official confirmation and imagine what this next-generation retro-modern hybrid might bring to the table. One thing's for sure, the Nikon ZFR is already one of the most talked-about cameras in Nikon's upcoming lineup, and that alone proves how much anticipation it's generating across the photography community.